What's going on, everybody? It's good to be here with you tonight. I am super excited to be here. It is time for our monthly farm meeting here on YouTube. It is so good to see everybody. I see everybody coming into the chat. I see some of my moderators, North Star Prepstetter, Kathy. I see Carrie from Built on the Rock Homestead. Good to see everybody. I'm so excited to see you too, Jessica Shaw, and the Family Podcast Network, and Sarah Curtis, and what's going on? The chat's just blowing up right now. Good to see everybody. It's so good to see everyone. It's been a minute since I've been live here on YouTube. I've been actually going live a lot on Facebook. If you guys don't follow us on Facebook, you should just check us out for Goldshop Farm on Facebook too. You know, sometimes you get a little bit of different stuff, different videos popping up on a different basis. And lately, we've also had a lot of live streams happening on the YouTube too. What's going on, Jack from the Mindful Homestead? You know, I just actually saw a video that Jack made where he butchered or put down a pig with his daughter, and it's pretty incredible. It sounds like Jack's making sausage as we speak. So good on you, Jack. So yeah, guys, I got a sort of a whole host of things to talk to you about tonight. I also want to leave plenty of time to answer your questions and get through everything. As you guys can see from the drone footage you're seeing on the screen right now, winter has definitely come to the farm. We've now had cold freezing temperatures the last several days. I don't think it's actually gotten up above freezing in the last week actually I shouldn't say that. In the last 3 days, it hasn't gotten up over freezing. We have, we've had one 4-inch snowstorm. Other than that, we get a regular sprinkling. And yeah, what's going on, Roblox? Good to see you, buddy. My co-host, Little Barn Cat, is here with me as always. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. So I think the first thing that's worth noting, and you might notice it here in these aerial photos that you're looking at. Do you guys see this structure here on the right-hand side? That white structure? Yes, I have completed the winter hoop house for the geese. It's built, it's done. It's not as big as I had originally intended it to be, but I will say it's going to work great for what we're planning for this winter. The geese have been fully moved in. They're hanging out. You can see them right here. It stays way, way warmer. And I will be putting out a video tomorrow afternoon, I think it'll get posted, showing how we built the hoop house, what we ended up doing, what happened, answering all the questions. But yeah, I'm excited that we actually have it done. It's amazing too, because for example, it was 10 degrees overnight, temperature wise, 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And when I went into the goose house this morning, the water wasn't frozen, which is crazy. Usually with 10-degree weather, your water would freeze. And so, it's been working out great. I do, like I said, want to get to your questions. And I see the first question I'm going to take tonight. And that is from Hunt Zone. What's going on, Hunt Zone? And by the way, what Hunt Zone did here is the best thing. If you want to get me asking your questions, the best thing you can do is actually put it in all caps. It makes it so much easier for me to see those questions. And Hunt Zone is asking, did I get any deer yet? And do I plan to bear hunt this season? So the answer is no to both questions, Hunt Zone. I went out, I'd say probably about 10 times in total. The season just ended on Sunday for deer rifle season. And so it's one of those things where, you go out as much as you can. I got a lot of things going on. And so it's tough to go on as much as I might like. But I will ultimately, kind of cross my fingers and hope for the best. Unfortunately, I did not bag any deer. I only saw one buck who just didn't even seem like his antlers were above the 2-inch limit that you're supposed to adhere to here in Vermont. So it didn't get that. And as far as hunting bear, no, right now we are not in a situation where on our farm we have an overpopulation of bear. We have a couple of bear that have been around, but I actually see bear as a very good thing for our ecosystem right now. One of the things I'm trying to do, particularly with our forest, is increase the biodiversity. And when I look at what the bears do, they actually are great helpers when it comes to that biodiversity. And so I actually don't want to do anything to limit their presence as of right now. So Yeah, nothing to hunt. I think really the next thing I'll probably end up doing is maybe in May I'll go out for turkeys again. Would be the next sort of major hunting season we have on the farm. Okay, wow, there's so many questions coming in. I'm going to try to keep up with them. Okay. So Shonda is saying that she loves that picture of Toby and Pablo in the background. Wait, now I'm standing in front of it. Wait, there we go. It's like mirror image. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there is this picture right over my shoulder of Pablo and Toby. It's a cartoon by a very talented woman by the name of Lauren Knight. And I will just tell you guys very soon, I think it's going to be launching later this week. We're going to have brand new merch featuring Toby and Pablo on it. I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited to share it. This just showed up at the post office today. I am so excited. Yeah. So yeah, Kathy, the hoop house. It's basically for those who want like the vital statistics on our hoop house. It is sorry, dropped the camera there. It's a structure that is roughly 60 feet long, 12 feet wide, about 7 feet high. It's not as big as I'd originally hoped because I was originally planning on 100 feet by 20 feet and about 10 feet high. But I think it's going to work out well for at least what I'm trying to do this year. Alfred and I were never quite able to get his invention working quite right. And so I ended up having to go to a plan B, which is borrowing a hoop house kit that my buddy Will has. And so, you can see it right here on the right-hand side. It's holding up great. It's got nice, thick greenhouse plastic. It's doing the job. And so I'm excited. All right. Let me take more questions. So Shonda, I haven't really found, what the secret was. I think the biggest thing I'm going to probably do differently is be more careful with how I store my eggs. I'm hoping that actually ends up increasing the hatching rate. Hey, Linda, the cattle, how are the cattle doing? The cattle are doing good. You can see them actually right here. That is Anna Green Gables, and she's having a drink of water right from the trough. Unfortunately, my hose lines, it's gotten too cold for my hose lines at this point. And so I am unable to pipe water out to them. So I'm trooping out there with a sled and buckets, kind of like the old days with the ducks. And I am filling up their water trough and it's working out pretty well. I will probably move them to the barn this weekend. I just have been trying to see how they do outside of the barn and see if the Scottish Highlanders can live up to their hardy reputation. Excuse me. Thank you, Botcherbird. Greetings from Sweden. Any wisdom on building a hunting blind for cold weather? I actually think building a hunting blind might end up being one of my projects on the farm this year. Somewhere out back in the backside of the pasture where I typically go hunting might be one of those spots where I end up putting it in. And, if I do that, I think probably what I'll do is build a tree house, because I think Botcherbird, the thing that particularly for white-tailed deer that's most important is if you can get up in the air, it helps you make you much, much more efficient. So yeah. Ooh, Meredith asks, I bought the open dog food. Can you talk about more about it in any way, why you like it? So, yeah, I guess technically this is sponsored because they've sponsored me in the past. But, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Open Farm. It's a dog food company. I actually am going to be doing another special video with them coming up where they have, the raw, freeze-dried food. And I'm going to test that against the wet food and the broth and see which Toby likes better. And so that actually should be a video that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Brian, the tractor's doing really good. Actually just this morning even, I was loading out another bale of hay with the cattle, and the tractor was clutch in doing that. The other thing that the tractor does really an important job this time of year is it's what helps me clear all the snow. So I have a snowblower mounted on my tractor, and so by using that, I'm able to clear out a lot of that snow. Let me see if I can find some footage of me. Oh, so yeah, there's the tractor in action. Hold on, that's the wrong clip. You guys are just getting the whole live feed experience. I love hanging out with you just because it's it's totally free flowing, just me hanging out with you guys. So I appreciate it. Let's see, this was me hanging out and setting up the fencing. What else we got? I don't know, Brian. I didn't flag the clip, so I might not be able to pull it for you, but I really wanted to because, yeah, the tractor worked out great. Oh, yeah, here. This is what I was looking for. So here I am loading up the tractor with a bale of hay. So I actually don't even have the bale. I have like a clampers for the bale, but I actually just use my pallet forks because I have a bunch of stuff I have to unload with the pallet later this weekend, and I didn't feel like switching from one to the other. Yeah. And now Nick is asking, any indoor cover for the cattle? And Nick, I would say that yes. There's a barn that we have. You guys have seen it. It's our giant old barn. And I have a whole area set up underneath the barn for the cattle to go into so that they will be able to get out of the weather. Right now, though, it hasn't been too harsh. And so I'm just testing to see how they do outside. And I've been sort of curious to see how it goes. And so far, so good. What I'm trying to think about right now is long term, what am I going to do with the cattle? How am I going to house them? I think the setup I have for this year is going to be fine for this year, but as the herd grows, I don't think it'll be big enough. And so I'm looking for plan Bs. And in looking for those plan Bs, I just kind of want to watch and observe and see how the cattle perform in like sort of an outdoor setting. And so far it's been really good. I mean, the Scottish Highlanders are super, super hardy. And so, yeah, been positive on them. All right, more questions. Let's keep going. These are popping. I can't believe we got almost 800 people in here. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I always feel like so super grateful that people want to come here and listen to me ramble about the farm and care so much about what's going on with our farm. And so it means so much to me that you guys are here. Wow, we're up over 800 now. All right. Oh, Vivian, these are some tough questions you got here. So yeah, like I was just saying about the cattle, I think I answered your question there. Is Towie safe considering the town meeting you had? Yeah, I think so. I think the best in people, and I would just like to hope that nothing would happen and nobody would try to do anything. We also have certain security measures that, frankly, I don't even want to talk about just to kind of keep them a mystery. But certain things that we do that I think will help protect that as well. So, but yeah, I hope that's not the case. That'd be awful. And how has the geese and Towie been doing, and Pablo and the cows and every animal? Wow, Roblox, those are a lot of questions. Yeah, geese are good. The ducks, as you can see here, are pretty good. The chickens are good. Pablo is cranky. He always gets cranky when it's cold weather. He spends a lot of time in his heated cat house. Yeah, Nightfall Homestead. Watering in winter is the pits. Like you can see this. You can see it in this video clip, right? This sled that I'm dragging around. That's how I bring the water out to the cattle this week. Like I said, it's going to get old, and I'll end up moving them into the barn in the not too distant future. Sarah Schneider, this is an interesting question. I think perhaps if we were like -40, I might bring Towie in. -20, I don't usually because he'd much rather stay outside. He doesn't seem fazed by the cold, and he particularly has really taken to his doghouse. So, I made a video about this in the spring where I built this 2-story doghouse for Towie and Pablo. And, Towie loves it. He loves going inside there, which is good because I've had so much trouble getting him into previous doghouses that I've built for him. And so he's really happy with it. The other thing I'm getting ready for is we're going to have the puppy showing up here in February. And so I've got a plan worked out to go pick her up. And so I appreciate everybody making kind of offers to help. I'm working on how do I house her, and certain times, like particularly if she's in heat early on, I'm going to have to separate them. And so, those are like a big part of the future plans. And so, yeah, there you have it. Ooh, we got another super chat. Thank you, Callum. Hold on, let me see what Callum's question was. Oh, and thank you, Ashtoli Gaming. I'm your idol. Wow, that's Axel. I'm gonna keep butchering your name. I apologize, but thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Hello from Scotland, Callum. Hope you're enjoying having Scottish Highlanders. Will you be making T-shirts with the cattle on them? Yeah, you know what? I will say we're actually working on a bunch of new T-shirt designs, and as we do that, the Scottish Highlanders will be one batch doing. So yeah, stay tuned there. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, Sir Bartleby de Mimsy Porpington, Earl of Caledonia County. That is exactly right. Wow, Kathy is so sweet. You know, by the way, guys, you should check out all of our moderators. So yeah, Kathy from North Star Prepsteader, Carrie from Built on a Rock Homestead, Jack from the Mindful Homestead. I hope I'm not missing anybody I didn't see in here. Mallory from Quebec Homestead. Like, you know, without them, you guys, these live streams would not be possible. And so if you could show them some love, check out their YouTube channels. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. How's Allison doing? We haven't seen her in a while. Allison has been so super busy, to be honest. The hospital situation here in Vermont is tough right now. You know, Allison works in the emergency room at a local hospital as a nurse practitioner, and the hospital capacity is just like completely slammed to the gills. And so she's just been so busy with work, and it's been tough for her. But she's doing okay. And, you know, she got to go skiing today, which is like her passion and like her opportunity to kind of relax and release and kick back. And so, yeah, I think she's doing good. Yeah, she might end up making an appearance in a video in the not too distant future. So stay tuned. Okay, what other questions we got? How is the puppy and what is her name? So the puppy's good. The puppy is really good. Here, I'm going to share some footage of the puppy just so you guys can see how she's doing. But she's doing really well. She, you know, let's see. She was born first week of October. So that makes her almost 8 weeks old now. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, she's good. We don't have a name for her yet, though. So still stay tuned. Any suggestions you guys want to offer, I'm open to them. Doesn't mean I'm going to take them, but I'm open to them. And so, yeah, we're excited. I'm getting ready for the puppy and just kind of seeing what she looks like. And you guys want to see the puppies in action? Here's a quick little video clip for you. There you go. Hey, Maya, thanks for that. Thank you for that super chat. My wife and I are planning on buying a small homestead in March. You've been one of our biggest inspirations. Wow. You know, Maya, that makes me feel so good to hear that we're motivating people to do that. I think, you know, this is a great lifestyle. I personally really enjoy it. I'm happy to share it with other folks, and can hear people doing it like you're doing it. That's just awesome to hear. Mark J asked, do you think slaughtering the cattle will be difficult for you since you're bonding with them? I don't think it'll be easy, but I don't think it'll be too hard. You know, I've gotten very used to this with the ducks and the geese around, you know, putting them down and recognizing that animals have their purpose. Yeah, I wouldn't think it's going to be too difficult. It's going to be a necessary part of the farm. And honestly, really only Kurt Cobain is going to be up for potential slaughter soon because the others are really breeders. Can you tell me why you chose this breed? Sorry if I missed it. Scrap, I'm assuming you're saying the Maremma, which is the dogs that you see here on the screen. It's the same breed Towie is, and they're just a really good livestock guardian breed. Really chill, really good with poultry, very loyal, great hearts. Yeah, I think they're one of the best possible livestock guardian dog breeds you can get. But you have to train them right. And you have to really raise them in the right context. Like they would not be happy in a condo or something. They need space. They need a job. If they don't, they tend to get into trouble. So yeah. I know. I can't believe how many people. Oh, we just hit 1,000. That's crazy. Tell your friends. We might see if we can set a record tonight. Do you work your day job part-time now? No. Baby girl is money. I don't. I still work my day job full time. So usually like the way my schedule works is from like about 8:30 to 5:30. I'm usually working at my day job right from this office here in the house. And then when I get done, I end up doing all my farm stuff and like editing YouTube videos and that sort of thing in the margins. And so I will admit, guys, it's been really tough lately. And I want to make sure I don't burn out on it all, but like just not having the time, not having any like moment to breathe. It's been hard. It's Cody. I'm doing it sort of in pieces by pieces. Our barn is a beautiful structure. I think we're very lucky to have it, but then at the same time, it's really not practical for the type of farming that we're doing in terms of the layout, the structure. And so what we're doing is I continue to like take care of it and do the best I can to maintain it. But I don't think I'm ever going to do like a hardcore full-on restore. Thank you, Foster Mom Gillette. I really appreciate that. Dutch off-grid homesteading. I'm working on it. I've been talking to actually a couple companies who might want to like do a little project with us on the top of our pasture there. And so nothing to announce yet, but I'm still doing research. I think that video I put out really helped get a lot of people like thinking about having conversations with us about it. And I think it's been really good ever since then. And so I'm still working on stuff, but I'm going to keep that one a little close to my vest just for right now. Michael asks, any long-term plans for additional livestock pigs? Well, yeah, I think the next animal we would probably add would be the pig. And I think we might get a couple of feeder pigs next spring is sort of what I'm thinking about. It's not 100%. I'm still kind of mapping out what I want to do and how I want to do it. Long term, I think like I'll ultimately want to, find a way to like make it all sustainable because I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much. But yeah, pigs would be the next animal by far. And I'm thinking maybe next year. Miranda the Marimba. You mean Marimba, but yeah, that makes me chuckle. Miranda's a good one. I like that idea, Abby. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, she obviously has to be Toby's Duchess. Yeah, I agree. She needs like a regal title plus a short name. Is sort of what I'm thinking. The puppy is a girl. Lorna, I haven't gotten enough fluff yet. We're still probably going to need to collect another year. So I'll be collecting again. Actually, I'm taking Toby to the groomers pretty soon. And as I keep collecting it, that will ultimately get me to a place where I have enough to start doing it. Thank you, Wade Duvall. I don't know if she's going to be the Countess. I think the Duchess of Caledonia County or maybe like a different land. Caledonia County is the county we're in. Maybe like she's the Duchess of Peacham or something. I don't know. But it'll have some sort of ring like that to it for sure, Wade. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Trisha goes well with Toby. Yeah, that's a good thought too. Oh, this is a really good question, Jill Wicks. So you're noticing that the puppies have colors. So the breeder, Kim, over at Prancing Pony Farms, if you want to check them out, they're a great little farm out in California. What she does is she actually uses breeding chalk for sheep. Usually what they do is they put like these like chalk harnesses on the rams, and that way they know which sheep mated with which ram. And what she does is, though, she'll mark her puppies with that same kind of chalk, and the different markings help her identify the different dogs, because as she's raising them, what she wants to do is like keep notes and watch them consistently to understand their personalities, understand their behaviors. That's why she has them all marked up. And so I don't know which ones are ours yet. We still haven't decided. We're gonna actually be deciding that pretty soon. Yeah, that's why they're marked with color. All right. Wow. From Egypt. That's amazing. I can't believe we're reaching that far across the world. That's awesome to me. Well, Carrie, I'm excited for you guys. That's a pretty interesting. I mean, that's a big move. That's good for you guys. Good luck with that. That's don't get overstressed, but we're happy to have you here in New England for sure. Okay, what else? Yeah, so the reason we're getting the puppy and the reason she's coming from all the way in California is that way we don't have a dog that's related to Towie, and my plan is to ultimately breed the two of them. So yeah, there you go. Joshua, I am 5'9". I'm like, average to short, I guess I would say. But yeah, 5'9". Yes, Zach, they are absolutely cute. Richard Smith asks a great question. So, Richard, I am working on a plan right now to bring the podcast back in January. And it's going to be slightly different format. And I'd love to get reactions from you guys in the chat on this one. What I'm thinking of doing is a weekly live stream where I have a guest that I interview and I have some conversation and I give you guys some updates and, just sort of like have it be more conversational. And so it'd be like both the interviews that you typically had in the old podcast, plus actually a little bit more like this where I'm just sort of hanging out. And my plan would be to start doing that on a weekly basis in January at some point. I don't know if that would interest you or you just would rather me do it the old way. I'd be curious to hear from folks on that one. When will there be an episode where Alfred plays the role as Morgan? That'd be kind of funny. I would be interested to see that. I'm not sure if he'd want to do that, but yeah, that would be funny. Wow, you're watching from Japan? Troll to the bank. That's pretty cool. All right, what else? Do you have any problems with chickens? No, you know what, Nuber? I don't really have any problems with my chickens right now. They're our chickens are good. Our chickens are doing really well right now. They are pretty low key. We've culled out all of our roosters at this point. Things are relatively calm with the chickens. Here you can see me letting them out and feeding them some kitchen scraps. Some of them have gone through their molt. Some of them are not laying as much right now, but that's just the time of year. It's like totally normal. But yeah, no real chicken problems. How is Lil doing without a furry friend? Lil's doing pretty good, Sarah. She always loves hanging out here with me. I think she's kind of become a creature of comfort. She likes sitting by the fire. She likes hanging out with me in here in my office. She's pretty playful. She likes to cuddle with Allison and me. She doesn't seem to miss the outdoor life. Like if she did, I'd actually be considering putting her back out. But she actually, she really doesn't seem all that disappointed. So we're happy to have her as an indoor cat. She's been an outstanding indoor cat, even though she broke a wine glass the other day. What happened was, like, I'd washed a wine glass, put it on like the drying rack, and I came back an hour later, and she was like wandering around the kitchen looking super guilty, and the wine glass was shattered. So I'm pretty sure she broke it. So yeah, there you go. Okay, what other? Okay, Scrap 5000 now. Sorry, can you tell us why you chose Highlanders? Sure. So Scrap, I think the number one reason I chose Highlanders is they're like a small to medium sized breed of cow. Because we have long winters, because I have to feed a lot of hay, I didn't want too large an animal because that would actually blow up the economics because I'd spend so much money on hay. So that's number one. Number two, they're super hardy. Like I said, just even this morning, it was like 15 degrees. They were totally chill. They were fine. They were happy. No problems with the weather whatsoever. They got those big shaggy coats. Number three, they produce a very lean beef. And because I'm planning on making beef jerky, I really want to have animals that have less fat because you don't want like really fatty beef jerky. Nobody likes the mouthfeel of something like that. And then number four, is really that they actually exist really well on marginal forage. They're not picky eaters. They're not, prima donnas. They can pretty much eat anything and everything. Number five, I would say they are like, really docile. They don't have mothering problems. They don't have birthing problems. Like everything, like they do, I think is in really good shape. And so, yeah, I think that would be like the other reason. So those are my reasons. Yeah, Jade, and I will expand. I'll probably add some more more animals in the spring, and I'm hoping my current cows calve. So yes, the intention is to grow the herd. I'd love to be at like, I don't know, 15-ish, 16 cattle by the end of the year next year. That would be my goal. So yeah. What's going on, Will C. in Rockingham? Good to see you, buddy. I don't know, Colleen. I might not ever raise turkeys. I like I have a friend, he's a turkey farmer. That's where I got my turkey for Thanksgiving, for example. I don't necessarily feel a need to raise turkeys too. So I probably, I don't know, maybe I will. So never say never, but it's not on my list of priorities. And like, building on Ginny's question, like I said earlier, pigs would be the next animal that I'd focus in on. Well, Maggie, that's an interesting question. I guess here for me is the difference between a homestead and a farm. A homestead is focused on producing food and resources for its occupants. So, like, kind of feeding you and your family, that sort of thing. I see a farm as something that's much more of a commercial enterprise where you're producing food for other people for sale, and you're trying to make money from that. To me, that's the defining difference between a homestead and a farm. I mean, for us, like, for example, there are some things that we do as a I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I hate when that happens. That is the pains of having rural internet. My apologies. But yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm actually waiting. I think I might be getting the Starlink, which is that new like Elon Musk satellite satellite internet, and so I'm probably hoping to switch to that. Okay, dog hop transport. If your plans change, we'd love to transport Marima from Cali. My wife and I just started dog hop. Oh, that's kind of cool. Service out in New Hampshire using only electric vehicles. That's a really cool option. You know what, Dog Hop folks? I would potentially give you a call. I'm thinking I'm going to end up going to California, but if I don't, I'll give you guys a call. Dog Hop. I'm writing this down. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. What breeds are the barn cats? The barn cats, I think, are just like tabby mixes, like Vermont mixed tabbies. Like, yeah, and yeah, like nothing special at all. They're whatever we can find. You know what, Kevin? I don't think I would. I don't see like exhibiting and show animals is not like a thing that ever interests me. I like animals for what they do to the land. I like animals for seeing them live happy lives. I like animals to try to produce like a viable business for other folks. I don't like showing. I mean, it's fine for other people to do it. It's just not something that interests me. Will you get a second heated cat tent for the winter so there's enough room for all three? We actually do have a second one. It's inside the barn. But I'm actually thinking about a project where I try to build a bigger and better one that could fit all three of them. Yeah, there you go. So Tucker, I never ski. I am like horribly clumsy. I feel like skiing is just a good way for me to hurt myself. So I never go skiing, to be quite honest. But Allison is a ski like fanatic. She loves skiing. She went skiing earlier today. She didn't go to Stowe. And I actually don't want to say where she goes, but yeah, yeah, she's the skiing fanatic. So Tucker, if you were to expect to see anybody on the slopes, it would be Allison. It's a good question, Jack. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I think I would love to see myself pretty much right where I'm sitting right now. I want to still be on the farm. I want to be growing the farm. I'd hope to have a larger farming operation and be up to scale where I could be actually doing this full time. I would love to continue to be making videos. I would love to have written a couple of books. I'd love to just, have spent a lot of time with my animals and led a good life. That's where I'm hoping to be in 10 years. But physically, geographically, like right where you're seeing me sit right now would not be a bad place to me if I was here 10 years. So Gosbo, no, I probably wouldn't get American guinea hogs. I'd probably get like a more standard farm breed. I would probably start off with just a couple of feeder pigs, nothing too fancy. Although some of my friends keep trying to tempt me with mangalitzas. But yeah, I don't think I'd end up going American guinea hogs though. Like those sort of small breeds like that. It's not what I'd want to do in terms of trying to produce food. It's not the most efficient path. Ooh, this is a good one, Stacy. So I would say right now our top hunter on the farm is Molly Barncat. Pablo has put in the work over the years. He's definitely got the highest like kind of career total of kills. But if I look at production lately, Molly's the one. Like she earned her nickname Molly Murder Mittens. Like let me just tell you that. Molly Barncat, who is Ginny Barncat's mom. She's just like an incredible mouser. She gets moles. Like the biggest thing I've noticed is we've gotten so many moles like turning up dead from Molly. She gets chipmunks. But yeah, Molly has been the biggest killer lately. The one behind you, what's Lil? Yeah, like I said, I think she's just like a tabby. I think she's actually a torta tabby. And sort of her coloring is like tortoise shell. It's very interesting. But yeah, that's what she is. Have you ever come close to buying a somewhat impractical animal just because you think they're cool? Only since I'd be if I had that land. You know what, Jay? I actually don't. I think that's sort of counter to my personality. I'm fairly planful and thoughtful when it comes to this stuff. And so I've never added an animal to the farm without seriously thinking about it and considering it. And so, yeah, I think it would be very unlikely for me to just like randomly like show up one day with an animal. Everything we've done has been very planful and intentional. So that's not an issue for me personally. Hey, Morgan, my wife and I enjoyed your YouTube videos in the pandemic. We're looking forward to starting our own property next year. Well, congratulations, Sean, and thank you for that super chat. That's really cool. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Isabella. I sent a message before the freeze. Oh, well, thank you. I'll have to try to track it down. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'm trying to get better. I'm actually working on my organization system. Also, I know Angela's asking, how's the book coming? The book is coming along. I've actually been working on it. I think this thing's going to be really good, you guys. Like, I'm super pumped about this book. Like, this book is going to be like, I don't know. I think it's going to like, I think you guys are going to like it, but I think even other people are going to like it too. And so I'm super motivated. I've been working on it very regularly, and yeah, things are coming along. Yeah, taters, even my like quick flirtation with flamingos, like, that was me saying, hey, that'd be kind of interesting, but like basically I wouldn't like do that without really, really thinking it through. Piper Lely. Hey, what's going on, Piper Lely? Good to see you, as always. How many guardian livestock dogs will we eventually have on our farm? I think my plan would always be to have two main ones, but I could see adding like a couple of other pairs. Like, say, for example, we have the cattle in one part of the farm and we have the ducks and geese in another. And so there might be a couple of different crews that ultimately form on the farm. So I could easily see having like 4 or so, maybe even more, ultimately. I am shocked, Lydia, that we have almost 1,000 people watching. I mean, like, really, like I said earlier, I think it will be, I think it'll be a big one. I can't believe like we have this many people here tonight. Like, this is crazy. Yeah, Jennifer's actually much more better about talking to this. The girls are mostly Tortie Tiger, Molly Moore, Tortie. Yeah, wow, Jennifer, you're super smart about cats. Yes. Do you like, I'm curious, Jennifer, do you like classify cats for like something? But yeah, I think you just nailed it. They're all domestic short hairs, sort of tabby-ish, Tortie, tiger-ish. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Benjamin, have you ever even seen our videos? Come on, man. I'm kidding. On our farm we have ducks, geese, and chickens. Those are the 3 types of birds. Obviously, then we also have wild birds around the farm too. So for example, we have like pigeons that are in one spot. We have a lot of songbirds. So yeah, there's all sorts of things around. But the main animals we have here on the farm are ducks, geese, and chickens. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever add much more than that either. Just fair warning. And I know everybody likes to think about us having like all these exotic animals, but that's not really what I'm shooting for. All right. Thank you for those free hugs. Hey, I don't know what's going on channel. Hey, I'm from you're wondering if you have any sporadic of weather as a so our weather was like we had a much warmer fall than usual. But in the last like week or two, it definitely turned pretty quickly, and we found ourselves in a full-on winter situation, as you can see by some of the visuals on the screen here. And yeah. Oh, Jennifer, you were a vet assistant for 14 years. That makes sense. And yeah, I love our vet assistants at our clinic. Folks who are vet assistants, I mean, they are such an important role in this world. Yeah. Mary Lee Haim, have you heard of honey to treat bumblefoot? I saw it at County Vet Show. I thought, I've heard of that because I guess in theory, like honey has antibacterial properties. I don't know. I think like I don't know. I mean, I could see maybe adding it on top of like doing soaking treatments. And maybe I'll try that next time. That's an interesting thought. You mentioned having ADHD before. Do you find that you do better on the farm or in the office? I think it's actually less about being on the farm or the office and more about the task that I'm doing. If I have a task where I can get like hyper focused on it and like just do that and maybe like have like a audiobook or a podcast going in the background, that's when I'm at my best. So whether that's like building something outside or mowing or inside here, working on something, writing something, editing something, those are like when I get the most focused is usually that. It's more about the task than the setting. So Celia asks, how will you stop Towie from breeding your puppy right away? That's a really good one, Celia. So the intention is just I've got to watch them super, super closely. And at the first signs of heat, I'll be actually separating the two of them and keeping the puppy in a special shed that I have set up where like he can't access her and vice versa. Because yeah, I don't want her to breed before 2 years. And so I'm just going to have to be vigilant. Luckily, heat cycles for dogs are, once you have them mapped out, are somewhat regular. But I would just need to be very careful and watch very closely. That's what it comes down to. I think the advantage I have is the fact that I am like here and around the farm at all times, and that makes a big difference. If your babies will, Big Mac is a good name. I'm going to put your book as fast as possible. Oh, well, thank you, Micah. Yeah, so the way we're going to name the cattle on our farm is all the females that are born from our current cows will have B names. So like if you're a first generation cow, you have an A name. If you're a second generation cow, you have a B name. If you're a third generation cow, you're going to have a C name. And then all the males, so all of them who are going to become steers, are going to get names of dead rock stars just to help me remember they do have a ultimate ending there. How did it feel being on television? I guess you mean like when the local news media was doing stories about our farm. I don't mind it. It's funny. I think the irony is if you look at between like YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, I think our videos get more views than anything that would get aired locally here in Vermont, which is kind of weird. But just, in terms of sheer numbers, Vermont's only 600,000 people. So, it's like one of those weird things that happens. But I don't mind it at all. I'm pretty comfortable speaking on camera, and as obviously you guys see here. Thank you, Zaddy McNutt. What are your views on cannabis cultivation? Would you ever consider growing yourself? I actually thought about it for a while, a couple of years ago, Zaddy, and it just didn't economically seem feasible. And I don't know, I'm not like a big cannabis guy to begin with, at least this stage of my life. And I don't see it being something I'd really be heavily focused in pursuing. Also, what I found is a lot of like cannabis production, it's got some really harmful environmental impact. And so, I just don't think it's quite for me. Okay, I'm going to give your little brother a shout out, but I don't even know your little brother's name, so I can't even give him a shout out. You missed your chance. No, Nancy, I didn't get a deer. No deer in the freezer this year, unless like maybe a friend gives me some. Do you plan on doing more introspective videos like your Thanksgiving video? I think best on the channel so far, so beautiful. Well, thank you for saying that, Jeremy. I really enjoyed that video. I'm glad to hear you liked it. I wasn't sure if people would like that or not. I think it was one of those ones that was a little polarizing, where some people really liked it like you, but then other people hated it. But the answer to your question is yes. I actually like doing those types of videos, and I would not be surprised if you see like one or two of them like that a month. I don't know if you guys have noticed about how I do my videos, but like I usually try to change it up. I don't ever like to get like stuck on just one format and one style. Yeah, the videos of me kind of walking around doing chores is sort of like the standard, but I like to mix in other things and like have fun with other things like that. So that's how I feel about it. Okay, repeat questions. So I don't think we ever had elk on our property here in Vermont. We're like New England never, I don't think it was like a major home for elk, particularly up here. Bison is not also something that was really ever common here as well. Like we're a hill farm. Like the way our farm is structured, it's like very hilly. It doesn't do well for animals that need that open range, like an elk or a bison. And so I don't think so yet. Hey, Morgan, will you put up Christmas decorations around the farm? Yes, I think actually this weekend, Allison and I are going to get our tree. And so I think we're going to do that on Sunday. I already have the tree picked out. We usually go off into the woods and cut it down. And usually when that happens, we end up putting all the decorations out as well. That's funny, Angie. I love to hear that. That's awesome. If you have video of it, send it to me. I'd love to see it. I'd love to know how you get everyone in the pens at night. How do the different know where to go? They just kind of do by routine. You know, really all of our animals, whether it's the ducks, the geese, the chickens, they all know where their home is. And by the time it gets to be nightfall, they are either entirely in bed or close to it. And so sometimes I'll have like a straggler or two I got to like shuffle in there, but for the most part, they just kind of do it themselves. And that just comes from like training over the years. And, you know, even as you add new birds, they learn from the other birds. And so that's been pretty much how I've been able to do it. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you guys something. You're gonna like this. This is good. I got a free thing for everybody watching this. So if you guys like free stuff, this is like your chance right here. So I have these stickers. I just had a whole bunch more of them printed up. They're Goldshaw Farm stickers. They're like really nice, high quality vinyl. And if you want your own sticker, all you have to do is send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address you see on the screen: Goldshaw Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont 05862. And I will, like, either I will or Allison will drop one of these stickers into your self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll send it back to you. So you got to include postage for return, and you got to include your return address like on that envelope. But if you do that, we will send you a free sticker. So there you go. Goldshaw Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont 05862. You get your free sticker, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And I always love getting mail from you guys. So yeah, just know that there's new sticker. These will probably only be available till the end of the year before we go back to a new sticker. But like I'll be changing it up. There'll be a new design coming in the not too distant future. So yeah. Thank you, Zaddy McNutt. Have you ever considered starting a pollinator garden? Also, please consider these live streams more. You know, if you guys want more live streams, I've been doing them also on Facebook. So if you follow us on Facebook, I'll actually be on there tomorrow night doing a live stream. I like to live stream too, so I'll be doing that. And like I said, I'm considering, I haven't landed on the decision yet, but I'm considering doing this on a weekly basis as a partial podcast too. How do you learn about farming? Through books? Yeah, Johnny Martini, it's a combination. Books, videos, podcasts, talking to people, helping people out on projects, trying things out for myself and failing miserably, like a combination of all of those things. Will you ever get animals for milk? I could see maybe one day getting a dairy cow. I mean, the thing is, Allison is allergic to cow's milk and sheep's milk, and I even think goat's milk. And so it's a little tough. Like it would just be me who would be for it. So it's tough for just one guy to do it. Oh, thank you, Eric. That's really kind. I appreciate those kind words and that super chat, Eric. Thank you. Oh, Misfit Fox. I think they're a great breed. We don't have any on our farm, but just because, I don't know, just, you know, I just landed on a couple of other breeds. But, you know, from everything I've read about them, from everything I've seen, and my friend Jay out in Missouri, she's got a bunch of Anconas, and she loves them. So, yeah. Hey, Monty, I think you mean Jemima Puddle Duck. So those of you guys who don't know, Jemima Puddle Duck is our oldest duck. She is, I don't know, she's probably about 4 years old now at this point, maybe 5 years old. Actually, yeah, 5 years old. And she is, you know, she's hanging in there. She's doing good. She's a pekin. She's the lone big white duck that you see on our farm. You know, she was the mother of Samson. She was the mother of Delilah. She was the wife of Samuel. Sadly, all three of them have gone on to other things. But Jemima's still around. She's still kicking. She's still doing good. And yeah, you know, she's you know, she's just like the crabby old lady. And yeah, she walks around fine, so I don't see any issues with her. And I hope she keeps going for a very, very long time, to be quite honest. I'd be sad if we lost her. All right. What are the questions? Hello, Laura. I'll have to check with Allison. She might have gotten it. But yes, I do get the stuff that you guys send. And yeah, if I think Jamie, you just got to check with your post office on what's the return postage cost from the US. And yeah, I can ship them to Canada as well. Mate Hall, I don't think we're going to really do much with hydroponics just because we have so much land and so much space. I don't think it's necessary for us. Yeah. These streams last as long as I have energy, and I will admit. So I got my COVID booster shot yesterday, and all day today I've been dragging. Like I had like a bad reaction to the second dose when I got like my original round of vaccinations back in May. And just today I've just been dragging. So if you guys see me off my game tonight, it's not that I'm like I should need more sleep. I had the vaccine yesterday, the booster shot, and so yeah. I'm glad you say that, Troll to the Bank. How do I keep Cornish crosses from going 20 to 30 feet up in the air? I don't think I've ever seen a Cornish cross go that high. I don't think I've ever seen a Cornish cross fly. But if you have problems with your chickens and they escape and they fly away, the thing to do is just clip their wings. Like what you do is like you cut the end feathers, their flight feathers. I've made videos about it. Other people have made videos about it. And if you do that, if you do it on one wing, they actually can't fly because then they're like all off balance. And that's the easiest way to keep your chickens from flying away. Okay, let's answer some hound hunting question. So, there hasn't been much going on with the hound hunting front. They're actually doing another event in the center of town on Saturday. If you guys want to show up, go for it. Peacham Gymnasium, 6 p.m. And I'm not sure if I will be there. I have heard that if I go, I will be kicked out immediately. And they've changed the type of event it is, so I can't record and they could actually throw me out just because they don't want me there. And so I might not end up going. I don't know. I still haven't made up my mind on that one. Well, thank you, Kate Rockery Walsh. Have you ever had a time when you had regrets about having a farm, like just a bad mood, things going wrong and such? Yeah, that's a great question. There's been moments, like not like long moments, but moments like brief glimpses where it's like, what the hell am I doing to myself here? For example, like when our ducks got attacked a couple of years ago by the mink, I seriously was like, what am I doing? Maybe I shouldn't be raising animals. Maybe this is a mistake for me. That was a regret. I've had things where I've wanted to go visit people, but I can't, or go do things because I can't, because I got to stay here and watch animals on the farm. And I don't have farm coverage. That's maybe a little bit of a regret, but overall, no, I'm pretty happy with the whole way it's worked out here for me. What are your thoughts on Pink Floyd, and what's your favorite album? Ooh. Well, I'm a big Floyd fan, so I will definitely say that. No doubt about it. Huge Pink Floyd fan. Huge Roger Waters fan. In terms of my favorite album, that's tough. Wish You Were Here might be my favorite album. I think. I'm trying to think. Like, hold on. I'm pulling up the whole Pink Floyd discography so I don't overlook something. So like Metal, Obscured by Clouds, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here. Oh, Animals. Animals is my oh golly, I can't even believe I didn't think about this. Animals is my favorite Pink Floyd album by far. No doubt about it. Like, yeah, no question. I can't even believe I wasn't like immediately giving you that answer. But yeah, Animals is the best Pink Floyd album. I will fight anybody who says otherwise, even though I couldn't even remember it 60 seconds ago. But yeah, I would say that would be it. How often do you clean out the coops and put down fresh savings? I probably put down fresh savings like twice a week, or fresh straw, depending on what it is. But like, yeah, 2, maybe 3 times a week. I'm very liberal with the shavings and straw. Like I don't skimp. But then I don't clean often. Like I might clean like 4 or 5 times a year. So yeah. Hey, what's going on there, Jared Johnson? Are you still getting the mini Toby dog, Caitlin? That's a funny way to put it. Yeah, we are still getting the puppy. I was talking about it earlier. I actually showed some footage of her. But yeah, our plan is in February. Hey, Wally Shed. Given that you're in Vermont, you have absolutely great craft brewers and distillers. Found any favorites? Keep up the good work. Okay, I'm your favorite Flatlander. Well, thank you, Wally. I appreciate that. So, yeah, let me give you some of my favorite local Vermont beers. Let's go. The one that everybody talks about that's like world famous, world recognized, that's probably about, 45 minutes from here is Hill Farmstead. They do just some great stuff. They're great. The Alchemist is great. But the brewery that you guys don't know about, but my friend runs and is an awesome brewery, and they do some amazing stuff, is Whirlygig. Hold on a second. I'm just going to actually, I'm so hyped on this one, and I want to do a commercial for my buddy Jeff that I'm going to, bring up their webpage as we speak and talk to you guys for a moment about Whirlygig, all because Wally Shed was so generous and nice enough to put this out there. Yeah, so my buddy Jeff, who lives here in Peacham, started a brewery about a year and a half ago, and it's called Whirlygig, and it's a great little company. It's really him kind of leading the charge. His wife helps out. They got a couple of employees. His biggest thing is he does a lot of stuff with wild fermentation, local sourcing of ingredients. It's super impressive the way he works, and he's got a constantly changing, interesting stuff. And the guy is just a wizard when it comes to his approach to brewing and what he does. And yeah, so if you're looking for something, they're right in downtown St. Johnsbury. They sometimes have pop up and food that ends up going there as well. I actually even think I took this picture that you see on the website here of my buddy Jeff. But yeah, that would be the brewery, Wally, that I would throw out and recommend for you. Question: what's the big next investment for the farm? Gabrielle, I think the next thing would be the garage barn. So Allison and I have long talked about wanting to put actually, I don't know if you see this shed. There's a shed, so you see our big barn, and then right to the right of it is this shed. We're actually planning on knocking that down, and then in its place putting in a barn that we could house our cars, the tractor. I have so much equipment and tractor attachments that I just need a place to put. And so that would really be the next big investment on the farm. Okay, guys, I keep answering these questions about turkeys and hydroponics. The answer is no on both. Or ostriches, sorry. Have you ever had time when you had regrets about having I already did that one. Sorry. Sort of looped back out on me. Oh, well, thank you, Andy's Ribcage. 2 questions. What's tips on keeping chickens in Vermont? We're in Burlington. And if you made art, could I send it to your email? Yeah, Andy's Ribcage, definitely. It's goldshawfarm@gmail.com if you guys ever want to send us an email. I try to do my best to answer it. So that's one. And then in terms of keeping chickens in winter, I think the biggest thing is, I tend to try to get chicken breeds with small combs, because the biggest problem I've had is actually them getting frostbite if their combs are too big. And so that would be the biggest thing I'd watch out for. Other than that, make sure they have good nutrition and whatnot. Tom Messing, I'm not sure I have a good one for that yet. I know that's something I need to work on. It's something I need to solve for. I haven't done that yet. But I guess maybe in abstract, my plan is that I ultimately have the farm grown to the point where I have actually some folks working here who could help with that part of the process. I guess that's what it would be conceptually. I might try to do that. So the problem is I can't really tell if the cows are pregnant until I can get a chute to capture them and have the vet come and do an ultrasound. So if I get that set up, then yes, Micah, I would definitely do that. Okay, Wally's saying, oh yeah, Alchemist, Alchemist is great. Yeah, yeah, you should definitely look into Whirlygig. It's actually Whirlygig with an I, so instead of the Y, it's an I, sort of like the maple leaf seed, Whirlygig. But yeah, local guy right here in he lives in Peacham, but the brewery's in St. Johnsbury. So no, Gosbo, the new puppy won't be in this first book. So the book that I've been writing is all about Towie when he was a puppy and he first came to the farm. And so it will have Lil Barn Cat, it'll have Pablo, it'll have a lot of the ducks, and it'll have some of the geese and some of the chickens, including Margie the murder chicken. But Molly and Jeannie Barn Cat won't be in it. The puppy won't be in it. The cattle won't be in it because it's kind of flashing back to the farm, I guess, 2 years ago. And so no, that won't be the case. Oh, well, thank you, Steve. Towie will appreciate that. And I actually always appreciate when you guys give these super chats, basically all of it goes to foods for Towie and the barn cats and the ducks, pretty much. Yeah, you know what, Go Kids Overlord? I have seen that video. I thought he did such a good job with it. Like, it's so well edited. It's so like fun to watch. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The worst farm injury. So the worst farm injury is probably when I got shocked in the head. That was probably the worst one I ever got. The worst injury, though, I've ever had was not that. The worst injury I ever had was when I was in college. There was I made a video about this too. You can probably look on our YouTube channel. But I was like climbing over a wrought iron metal fence that had like the spiky posts to it. And my shoelace got hooked on one of the fence posts. And when I jumped over the fence, it like whipped me around and drove the fence post through the bottom of through my ankle and out the bottom of my foot. And I was hanging upside down. That was the worst injury I've ever received by far. I had 60 some odd stitches. I couldn't walk on it for months. It was awful. Yeah, the hoop house is done, Indiana. You can actually see it right here on the right-hand side. I'm actually putting out a video tomorrow. It will be all about what that looks like. So stay tuned. But yeah, you'll see me actually build it. It's actually a video starring Alfred and me. And so we actually worked together to build it out, and it came together. I'll probably be getting new roosters over the winter. I have one Rhode Island red that I actually just need to go pick up. And when I add him, he'll be the first one we add, and then there might be another one. I don't know. I think I'll probably post it for 1 o'clock if you're really shooting for it. That's funny. The one where I got shocked in the head is recommended to you right now, Sarah. That's great. Where do we buy the song, my buddy Alfred? You know what? That's actually an interesting idea. I could probably try to put that out for sale. I got to talk to Patrick, the guy who recorded it for me, and see if he's cool with that. But yeah, that's kind of a fun idea. Oh, by the way, I guess there was one thing I wanted to share with you. Wait, what was it? Do I think the Wall is a good album? Yeah, I think the Wall is a very good album. I don't think it's as good as Animals. I don't think it's as good as Wish You Were Here, but I think it's very good. I don't think it's as good as Dark Side of the Moon either. But I think it's very good. I mean, it's better than a lot of other stuff. So, don't make it sound like I'm sleeping on the wall. But yeah, it's probably just not my favorite. That's all. Yeah, I've heard that Ophidian Black, that they don't get along all that well, and there'd be conflict, and there's actually even potentially disease issue, I think. And so, yeah. Elijah's asking Meat Eater plus Goldshot Farm. Yeah, I heard the podcast finally the other day. I actually put together a response video that I'm going to probably put out on Saturday. And yeah, I'm up for accepting the invitation. I'm not sure if I can get all the way out to Montana just because, I got a farm and it's tough for me to get away. But if they'd want to do something over Skype or Zoom or whatever, I would definitely be up for talking. I'm always up for talking. As you guys can tell, I talk a lot. What kind of drone do I have? I'm looking to see if it's in here. Where is my drone? No, it's downstairs in the mudroom. I have a Mavic. Actually, it's not a Mavic. I just got a new drone. It's a. Hold on. I got a DJI Air 2S is the drone I have. My colleagues have been building a gold shark community. Oh, Trevor, are you the guy who actually sent me the email? Because if you are, yeah, I do want to actually follow up with you on that. Yes, I've been thinking about this one. So yes, if you send me that email, I'll be responding very soon. And if it wasn't you and you're a different Discord, let me know. And yeah, I do want to talk. Carla, Alfred, I think like he kind of gets bashful about it, but I think secretly he loves it. He was actually giving me a hard time. There was a video I did a couple weeks ago where we left it out of the video, and he basically was like, "Yep, see, people complained. You got to put that song in." So yeah, no, I think he's a fan of it. Gabrielle, no update on the bees. The bees are good. They're just sort of doing their thing, hanging out. And yeah, there you go. I'm curious about this question. Can you please use Ecamm or ResCam to stream? I don't follow Facebook because it says videos posted 2 hours ago. It's usually like 6 months. YouTube's for missing great content. Yeah, Sarah, I probably will unify some things, but at least as of right now, I got to keep them separate for a couple of reasons that I don't want to get into right now. What happened with Meat Eater? So the podcast Meat Eater, I don't know if you guys know it, Stephen Ranella, who is this writer who I actually really like. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever read the book American Buffalo. I think it's great. It's an amazingly well-told story. It talks about Stephen Ranella won this lottery to go hunting wild buffalo in Alaska. And it talks about like his experience doing that, the struggles that he faced. And then it also goes into the history of the American buffalo or bison. And I think it's really, really well done. And I've always loved that book. But anyway, they put out a podcast, I think like a week and a half ago, and it was not pleased with Goldshaw Farm. I don't know. They really kind of trashed me and gave me a lot of crap. Like I said, I'm putting out a video on Saturday to respond to it. But, the short of it is they did offer up to have a conversation, and I'm willing to take them up on it. And yeah, I think that would be the case. Hey, Al Capone. Perhaps if you send me an email with like a link to the podcast and like what you'd want to talk about, send it to goldshawfarm@gmail.com. I would most likely say yes. Unless it's like something like super offensive or something, I might be like, sorry, buddy. And being that you're Al Capone, I don't know. But yeah, probably. How do I cook a goose for Thanksgiving? That's a good question there, Mary. What I have found is the best way to cook a goose is to spatchcock it. So if you guys don't know spatchcocking, it's like when you cut out the back of a bird and then you like splay the bird out flat. What that does is gives you a much better even cooking surface. And I think it produces a much better result. So the first thing I would suggest is doing that. And then typically what I'll do is I'll do a dry brine. So salt and baking soda or baking powder, I should say, and like herbs and spices. I'll mix that all together, rub it on the bird, leave that on the bird for 24 hours, and then really just kind of pull it out, let it come up to room temperature, then drop it in the oven. I'll usually cook it at about 325. And honestly, just then watch your temperatures and make sure your breast gets to the right temperature, which I'm drawing a blank on off the top of my head right here, because you don't want to go as high as like turkey. But then, like once you bring it to temp, like that's all you need to do, and that to me is the best way to cook a goose. All right, guys, I got to admit I'm starting to fade. I wonder how soon if that was. I don't know. I think that one's still out there for a while. Enrique wants me to get a different breed. Yeah, the second one won't be a Rhode Island Red. It'll be something different. But I think actually Rhode Island Reds, given my goals and what I'm trying to do around the farm, like they work really well in that regard. So that's why it's tough not to do it. All right, 3 more questions. Not actually a question. Oh, Micah, you're killing me here. I'd love to be the future Discord server. Yeah, all right. So we'll make this Discord thing happen. I know everybody keeps asking about it. So yeah. Ooh, this is a good question, Lindsay. So we don't have a website with names of all the animals, but maybe that's actually something I'll do on like goldshawfarm.com is our website. And maybe I'll actually try to do that. Yeah. So Gabrielle, my allergies with the cats have been okay. With Lil, like I have to be careful. Like I'll pet her, but then if I touch my face, I will start sneezing, like most definitely. Oh, look at this little kitten. Isn't she adorable? Hold on. Lil, come say hi to the pod. There, the live stream folks. Oh. She's unhappy because I took her out of her nice comfy chair. But yeah, she is a great cat. I can be around her like this, but again, if I touch my face with this hand right now because I was holding her, I will start sneezing and itching my face. So it's better. I'm less sensitive, but it's still not perfect. All right, last question. I'm going to look for a good one. Thank you, Mary Swanson. Thank you, John Rocks. Catboy says, my buddy Alfred is going through my head nonstop, huh? Well, maybe we'll have to... Here, let me scratch that itch for you, Catboy. My buddy Alfred, he lives on down the road. He's a wizard with machines, a genius in blue jeans. Let's stop and say hello. My buddy Alfred, Vermont for so-and-so. Bricklaying engineer, surgeon, driving heavy gear. Ain't nothing you don't know. Thank you, Tana Holcomb. All right. Sorry, playing the wrong song here. Okay, good night, everybody. I will be back tomorrow. Let me take one last question, though, here from Arnold Kellogg. And Arnold asks, would I ever expand the fence around the property? The answer is yes. I will be expanding the fence to include the main part of pasture that you see here. So the biggest part of the pasture, the part not with trees, that will have a permanent fence probably by before Memorial Day, I'd hope. That'll be one of my early spring projects. And that way I can actually graze the cattle up on the top of the pasture. And so that is my plan. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I will be back on Facebook tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you then. New video, though, out tomorrow, all about the construction of the hoop house, so you can get kind of that inside look. And I will be back again here on YouTube the first Wednesday of the month in January, which will be the first live stream of 2022. This is honestly the last YouTube live stream of 2021. I appreciate you guys hanging out and coming here. This has been a lot of fun. And I also want to just say thank you to all my moderators, Kathy North Star Prepstetter, the Mindful Homestead, Quebec Homestead, Built on a Rock Homestead. You guys are so important to making all this happen. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you, Grace Ann, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great night.